Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's me again. Welcome to a new dragon video. Let's just jump straight into it. Today's format will be a little bit different. Tell me what you think about this format. Let's start off here at the Hermes boutique in Denver, in Colorado, in America. It was really discriminatory the way I was treated. When my husband and I walked into the store, they just looked at us and they didn't even say hello. How can someone who doesn't even know basic manners work in such a high-end luxury shop? Although I'm a local resident, I'll never go to this boutique again. I'll go to Las Vegas or LA. I'm very satisfied with every purchase. The essays there are really nice. I am convinced that they are like cold and rude when you walk into stores to encourage you to leave the boutique if you're not going to buy anything. I feel like some of these essays at any boutique, it doesn't just have to be Big H, because this is Big H, obviously. I feel like they're like, oh, if I'm really nice to someone and they don't buy anything, that will encourage them to come again and browse. I think that's how some of them think about it. Same location, Denver, Colorado. Really disappointing experience. I'm not the only person who's written reviews about this place. This was a very bad experience. The essay was unmotivated and unwilling to present items, answer questions, very slack behavior. I had the feeling that I'm bothering her, although the store was completely empty. I had some very basic questions about materials, but the essay showed no motivation and ambition to answer my questions or to present specific items. I'm usually treated better. I don't know, girl. Baby, I'm not with you on this one. It's like, guys, like, you're going into the boutique to ask questions about materials. You can go on the website and read about the materials. I struggle to understand. We have a similar thing in one of my businesses. I've said before, we get lots of telephone orders. People ask a lot of questions, but sometimes people ask leading questions. Remember the other day, like one of the sales reps was telling me something that had happened. Someone had called in. They're like, where are you guys? We're like, we're in Dar es Salaam. We ship all over Africa. We ship all over East Africa, and we do free shipping for East Africa, and we shipped all over the continent. Where are you? How much is this? Da 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 da. Questions which had already been answered by the sales representative in a previous message, all those questions. And then finally, I was telling the sales representative, you need to tell the customer, the person inquiring, like, hey, do you want to buy today? Because that's going to shut down a ton of questions, And I know some of you are like, what I'm about to tell you is going to rock some of your worlds right now. But I was telling my team, just tell people who have lots of questions, just like, you can like refer to the message I wrote to you previously. And also when you're ready to buy, like happy to answer any questions you may have. Now, I know you're like, oh my God, like that's so rude. No. You have to minimize the amount of people who are time wasting. You walked into Big H in Denver, in Colorado, in America, and you are asking a ton of questions. Why should she present items to someone who's just come there to ask a ton of questions? Are you doing a panorama interview on the BBC? Why are you up here interrogating people like you're on CNN, like you're Anderson Cooper, who, by the way, is a Vanderbilt? We need to discuss that as well. What are your thoughts on that one? Same location. The experience was really terrible. This was the rudest experience I've ever had. After asking several basic questions about care of an item I was about to purchase, the essay offered the essay offered for me to, quote, go to look around the mall for something else. So the essay is telling her, why don't you go around the mall, the shopping center, and go look for something else? Meaning you should leave because there's nothing in here for you, girl. I've never heard something this close at Tiffany, Chanel, or any other store of this level. I'm not even talking about how impatient and distracted the essay was. It was a really bad experience. I think it's pretty outrageous to tell someone, like, hey, why don't you go somewhere else, like to go like elsewhere in the shopping center, in the mall? Because I believe this Denver location is in the shopping center. Why don't you go somewhere else? I love it. I'm loving it. The next one is Hermes Aspen in Colorado in America. I went in to buy perfume I needed and 2 scarves. The essay was busy, didn't say anything. He said, I'll be right with you. Nothing happened. We waited 15 minutes, then we left. Fine, charge $20,000 for a throw, but don't treat people so poorly. Girl, the moment you know what happened. The moment she said that she wanted to buy perfume and 2 scarves, okay, the essay was like, I'm out. And the essay, who in this review is a man, wanted nothing to do with her because it's just seen as like a waste of money. I know I've had debates with many of you about this, like why someone would rather lose the sale. And I think I want to explain from a business perspective why someone would rather lose the sale. We had something similar literally happen today before I filmed this video. I got a call from one of the team members because it's the weekend. And I opted to tell the team just rest this Saturday. Normally we do orders and shipping on Saturday, but I wanted to do some other work. So I was like, it's not a problem. Let everyone rest today. And then a call came in. Someone wanted to get a product, but they didn't want to pay. They wanted to do something called COD, cash on delivery. But I was like, every single order has to be paid in full if it's in East Africa or the regions of Tanzania and Zanzibar. Or if you're in Dar, we can deliver it to you, but you need to pay an advance fee, and then you can just pay the rest in cash. Now, this person didn't want that. They wanted us to go. They wanted the delivery guy to go, and they wanted to be given and then pay the whole thing in cash. And I said, no, because that's not how I'm running this business. I need an advance payment because we need to make sure that the order happens. What I found was a lot of people in my culture who'd pay cash on delivery, they would then, some people would renege when the delivery guy arrives there and people have spent money to get there. And the person was upset saying, well, I have lots of money. I would have been a huge customer for you, but you can't see the big picture. Turns out I've been doing business for 15 years. I can't see the big picture. I'd rather lose you and go find someone who is more valuable to me as a client, because the person who pays the advance fee for Dar es Salaam or who pays in full for Tanzania mainland, Zanzibar, and East Africa as a whole, those people who pay in full for the regions and outside of Tanzania, they're more valuable because they're the types of person we want to build like long-term financial transactional relationships with, because they support the way we're doing our business. If you are demanding for a cash on delivery order and you are like really pushy about it, you're not the kind of person we want to build and grow with. And businesses have every right to work with who they want to work with. And I think it's the same thing here. You know, now I know what you're thinking, like, well, that's really rude. It's a perfume and 2 scarves. Like for this store, for the Denver boutique, from what I've seen online, that is just, I think the essay is like, I'd rather just lose you, because that's like what? In USD, that's what? Perfume and 2 scarves is what? 1,200 USD? I think that like, I'd rather just lose that person and go and get someone who's going to walk in and spend $10,000. It costs more money. I mean, no, it costs the same amount of energy and effort for the essay to sell a $10,000 like crocodile wallet than it does to sell the perfume and the scarves. It's the same energy and effort from the essay. I know that it's going to be hard for some of you to hear this, but it's the realities of doing business. It's better for me to lose that person who wants to make it difficult for me to execute my business the way I want. And it's better for me to find people who are willing to do things the way that we want, because those are the types of like people we want to cultivate, because we can encourage them to shop more with us with time. And it's a more pleasant experience for everyone. Don't forget that the people who even work in the company, it should also be pleasant. I think that's something we don't talk about. It should also be pleasant for the essay to be your essay. It shouldn't be this like difficult, painful experience. I often find that on social media. A lot of people say, oh, I'm super nice, I'm super sweet. Are you? You might actually be a really difficult customer, like the person we dealt with today. And I told the team member, like, hey, you know what? It's just not worth it to me, because tomorrow there'll be someone else. Monday there'll be someone else who are willing to do things the way we want. So you can let her go. It's not a big deal. This one is the Hermes boutique in Houston, in Texas, in America. Houston, Beyonce's hometown. Hey. The sales essay felt like I couldn't afford to buy a Kelly Messenger bag. It was a gift for my daughter, but it was sold to someone else who walked into the store. He didn't connect with me before the bag was sold. I have text messages to prove I was going to buy the bag. Really unprofessional. Hey, this is how it is at Big H. Bags get snatched. And they will happily snatch your bag off and sell it to someone else. That would be a nightmare for me. Is a Kelly Messenger a quota bag? It's a men's bag. I'm just curious if it's a quota bag. Is the Kelly Messenger a quota bag? I don't think it's a quota bag in France, but I'm not sure about other jurisdictions. Let me know about that one. Okay, the final one is the same location. I don't think I've ever written a Google review, but because why bother? But today I'm making an exception. This is the Hermes Houston store to say how disappointing I found the service at this store. As a brand that has valued craftsmanship, attention to detail, and excellence for a long time, I was surprised and disappointed to see how little the people in this store seem to care about the customer's experience. 5 essays not helping customers, looking at their phones as we stood at a counter waiting to be helped. My mum thought the only reason someone helped us was because it was too awkward. It was honestly comforting to see how many people have had bad experiences. This is the place my family has bought some really nice gifts, but we will no longer be shopping here. We will no longer be shopping at the location. What a bummer for our hometown store, but I guess it will now be something special to look forward to. Again, I think it's one of those things where it's that one-to-one service thing that luxury brands, want to do. It's that one-to-one service that luxury brands love to always tell us about. But also, again, it's that making it difficult for you to shop there. And I do think that Big H does do this. Like, I think that they make it unpleasant. Something which I'm just reminded of is the experience at Harrods. And I think last time I didn't buy anything at Harrods, but even in Harrods, it was kind of like there's you have to get into the queue, you have to wait. It's an exhausting process. And even at the Copenhagen store, they're perfectly nice to you. Like, they're very formal and polite. I think polite is the correct word. But they have signs in the boutique saying please understand that handbag allocations, whatever. I'm paraphrasing here, but there's like a sign in the store basically saying that you can't play the game, which we all know is not true. But there's like a sign in there. So it does kind of put you off as well. So it's made to feel uncomfortable and unpleasant. You know what I mean? And I think it's made to feel that way for sure. So I think in this kind of situation, it's like you're there with your mom. That has to be a very uncomfortable experience for sure. Like, to feel like, oh wow, I'm having a horrible experience and I'm here with my mom. I wouldn't want that. I think putting your mom or your dad through shopping at Hermes if you don't have an essay there, I think it's a lot. Because the chances of being dragged are extremely high. They want to make it really difficult for you. And I think that the people who storm out without seeing anyone, I feel like the essays are like, see, I told you, gal. I told you. We just had to ignore her because she wasn't going to buy anything anyway. So we didn't lose anything. So what do you think about those dragging reviews? This was a short and sweet one today because I wanted to tell you guys something super interesting that happened to a friend of mine and her fiance, who's also my friend. So I have 2 friends. I, by the way, set them up on a date in London. They're getting married. So I'm low-key a matchmaker. That's my new hobby. So that's for another day. Now, they're super private, so I can't really talk too much about that. But I did ask if it was okay to share this with you guys here in a video, and they said it was okay, but I have to keep things general. So she had been trying to get a Coat bag, honey, in London at one of the boutiques, at a boutique that you all know and love. In a department store. It hasn't happened, baby. She got dragged. Okay, pretty hard. She has been trying. She works in sales. She's done well for herself. She has been trying on her own. It didn't happen. Finally, she was so devastated and that she couldn't get one on her own. And she told her fiance, who's also my friend, remember I set them up. He walked into one of the stores. I can't tell you which one here publicly, but I did post this on my Instagram stories. And basically, without a wish list, without anything, he walked in and he bought a bunch of stuff from men's. He bought clothing. He bought a really expensive watch. He spent a lot of money, more than £40,000, and he got a box Kelly for her. Same day, no wish list. So it's just something to note. This is something that they told me, and I was stunned in shock. So she was like, the wish list stuff is BS then. I said, it's looking like it's BS, particularly if you have your fiance, your boyfriend, your husband wears Armani suits and really expensive luxury watches like he does, and he does. So I'm omitting some details and stuff because this is a permanent video and I want to protect their privacy. But I can tell you, he spent more than £40,000, which I just think is an astronomical sum of money, and got a quota bag, a Kelly, the same day. It was a box Kelly. And got it the same day. So much for the wish lists and all this stuff being granted in one of the boutiques in London. So think about that for a second. It's just something to think about. Just something to marinate on, think about. There are no hard and fast rules. I thought it was really interesting because I just done the UK like Back in Bay episode as well. So tell me what you think. Can't wait to hear your thoughts. So I think that story really does highlight the whole idea of the wish list. Of course, it's a real thing for sure because British Glamazons get the emails and stuff, but the rules at Big H are meant to be broken because and by the way, I think this is relevant. Her fiance was like really well dressed. He was wearing an Armani suit the day when he went in. He works in finance, and also he was dealing with a female SA. I wonder if that played a role because we've talked about this before, like female SAs not being particularly friendly. There is a Birkin Bay episode that's coming in a few days, and the Glamazon was super successful and she had a male SA. So we'll talk about that. I'm telling you guys, I've said it before, I've had good experiences for the most part, with male SAs. I think female essays just make it hard. And coincidentally, my friend who had been struggling at the other boutique that she tried to get a quota bag and tried to make a wish and stuff, she had a female essay and it just didn't work out. So tell me what you think about that one. Like, comment, share, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this from me. I would love to know what you want to see from me. Do you want to see more dragon videos? Do you want to see more videos about people's experiences? Sometimes it's like people who I know, like personally, like them. Obviously, I set them up and now they're getting married. Okay, so trust me when I tell you, my ego is out of control. My husband was like, your head is so big right now. I said, wouldn't your head be? You set people up on a blind date and they're getting married. So think about that for a second. So if anyone writes anything crazy to me this year, I'll be like, how many people are you like responsible for their weddings? Let me stop you right there. I am. Okay. Anyway, he walked in there and he got a Kelly at one of the boutiques in London town. So much for the wish list. Same day, something which he did that I thought was really clever is he told the SA I want it on the same receipt. That's something which I'm going to try now. Like, you want it on the same receipt. I think he did that to avoid getting tricked and to avoid getting tricked and scammed, because sometimes they can do that. You can buy a bunch of Birkin Bay, you go back the next day, the SA bibbity bobbity boo, poof, tricked, doesn't work there anymore, or has gone on a holiday or has a day off. That's happened in a lot of dragon reviews as well. Tell me what you think about this one. What do you think about my friend's succeeding? Well, my friend's fiance succeeding for her. Now, she has her beautiful box Kelly, but obviously she's, she works in sales, so she's competitive. She's like me. We're both very competitive. We want to do it on our own. And she's like, the next bag, I have to get it on my own. I'm like, look, girl, I would just carry on with your fiance and his Armani suits, honey, and expensive watches, because clearly that worked. Tell me what you think. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Sign up for the newsletters link below. God bless you all. I'll see you in my next video. I'm out.